Hey everybody, DGooden24 here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to NASCAR Thunder 2000. Now if you had watched my NASCAR Thunder 2000 tour video, you would know that we just looked over the Cup Series drivers that I didn't have the Busch Series drivers unlocked. Well, let me tell you, you do not need a 100% save file to have them unlocked. No. What you need to do is go to create a car, new, and what you're going to do is in the first name, you're going to put Busch, B-U-S-C-H. And then last name, you're going to put Series. Now, I already have this unlocked, so you're not going to get the Thunder plate pop up. But all you have to do is hit continue, and you will get the Thunder plate notification popped up, and you'll have them. So as you can see, there's Blaze Alexander right there. Once again, thank you to Sledge for telling me that, and for this mod. You can check out the link to this mod in the description. It's awesome. Go check it out. So what we're going to do is go check out the Busch Series drivers, and we're already on them since I kind of got it all set up. This is Blaze Alexander, a very sad story. If you don't know about him, look him up on YouTube. I'm sure there are plenty of videos talking about him and his tragic passing. So this is his car, the number 81. I was very familiar with a lot of the NASCAR 2000 drivers in the Cup Series. This, I'm not going to know much. I was not a big Busch Series fan. I just remember watching the Cup Series back in the day. So in 2001 forward is when I started watching the Busch Series. And that's kind of really when I started watching Cup. But I do remember watching some Cup races in 2000. Busch, no, not really. So Blaze Alexander, that's a cool looking car. You got track phone, that's old. And WCW, oh, that's awesome. We got Glenn Allen Jr. I'll be honest with you, I've never heard of this person in my life. The scheme is awesome. That channel lock light blue and red is awesome. Big fan. It looks good. I like it. Lyndon Amick, I know I've heard that name, but I couldn't tell you what he drove, as this car does not have a Chevy logo on it. And it's another phone company sponsorship of Mitsubishi. It looks good. Not a bad scheme there. I know a lot of the teams back in the day didn't put their Chevy branding or logos on there, probably because they weren't getting support from them. So that's what I would imagine. Casey Atwood in the Castrol GTX Chevy. That is a nice looking paint scheme. I really only think of it when he flipped at Daytona. This was back when he was regarded as the next Jeff Gordon. So it's a good looking scheme. I like it. Greg Biffle in the number 60 Winn-Dixie car. I think this is Mark Martin. Yeah, it says Mark Martin above the door, so I'm going to imagine that this is Mark Martin. I don't know. Greg might have drove this in the Busch Series once or twice. I'm not for certain, though. Don't hold me on that one. I know it's got Mark Martin above the door. Classic Winn-Dixie scheme. I like it. Todd Bodine in the 66. Now, I think of this car... Didn't Elliott Tadler drive a version of this car before this? And Tony Stewart too? No, Tony Stewart drove the 44 shell car. But this is a nice looking paint scheme. I am a big fan. It looks really, really good. Funny how Todd Bodine drove this 66, and then next year he drives the Kmart 66. Mike Borkowski, never heard of this man in my life. It is a nice looking paint scheme though. Is this Bill Davis? Maybe? I'm not sure. Kind of has the same look with the two. It looks like if there's another two there, it looked just like Ward Burton's 22 from this time. Kurt Busch in the 9. I don't remember this paint scheme whatsoever. That 9 is very, very interesting. It almost looks like it should be an upside down. Is this the Mark Martin 6 with like no little edges on it? I don't know. It's interesting. Northern Light. I don't know. And I do not like. Ooh, I don't like how the. Let me try to get my finger where the black, or I can just use my mouse right there. I don't like how it's just black right there. It feels like it should just keep coming through, but I'm sure it would clash with the white lettering. Chad Chaffin, I always think of him in trucks. The Lear car, there's no rear bumper or deck lid sponsor. That's odd. Nice looking paint scheme. Not much to say about it. I don't have much to say about Chad Chaffin either. Mike Dillon in the 21 Rockwell Automation Chevy. I don't know who I think of when I think of this car. It's hard. I don't think of Mike Dillon, that's for sure. I think of Jeff Green, Mike Bliss, and Denny Hamlin. But I know Denny Hamlin and Mike Bliss, they drove it when it was the 20, before it was Richard Childress. It's just the Rockwell scheme. So yeah, for Richard Childress, it was him and Jeff Green. I think probably Mike Skinner probably drove it too. And then they switched their sponsorship over to Gibbs, right? And then it became the 20. It all kind of runs together. It's a great scheme, though. Tim Vito in the Stanley 36. I think I had maybe a die cast of this. Sorry about me taking drinks. My throat is not enjoying me talking this much. But I like the way they put the not the ruler, but the measuring tape thing on the bottom. It's cool. I like how they incorporate stuff with their sponsor into the paint scheme. It looks good. David Green in the 34. I always think of David Green in the Timberwolf car, but this is obviously before my time. I like it. A lot of red, white, and blue. Looks good. Oh, Jeff Green in the number 10 Nesquik car. He dominated this Busch Series season in this car. I'm a big Jeff Green fan, and he killed it this year. I wish the chocolate milk went further back, but it looks good. Mark Green. We had all the Green brothers in the Busch Series in 2000. The Superflow motor oils with the giant tiger on it with tiger stripes. That looks good too. I like it. There's the Timberwolf car, the 37. It doesn't have a Chevy logo either. They put the wolf over it. That's a good looking paint scheme, even though it is tobacco. Looks good. Bobby Hamilton Jr. in the 26. That's weird. Was this like before the Dr. Pepper sponsorship? It's just weird that there's nothing on the back here. Baywatch, restaurants, and nightclubs. But it feels like they should put it on the side, too. It's just odd. There's Kevin Harvick in the AC Delco Chevy. That is such a classic paint scheme. I love it. Man, it looks so good. Ricky Hendrick in the 14 GMAC Racing. This is not the scheme that I really think of. I mean, the Kyle Larson drives like the Ricky Hendrick throwback scheme. This is a little different than that. NASCAR Speed Park on the side. Man, I miss NASCAR Speed Park. Good looking vehicle. Bobby Hillin Jr. in the Kleenex Cottonelle car. It feels like there should be two numbers. It shouldn't just be number 8. It's kind of odd, but it looks good. Ron Hornaday in the number 3. This is such a wild paint scheme to me. It's like, I know it's DEI, right? Yeah, it's DEI, and it's just odd seeing the 3 instead of the 15 there. But it is just another iconic scheme. Jason Jarrett, video game legend from Jason and what is it? What is it called? Jarrett Labonte's Stock Car Racing. Oh man, look that game up if you haven't heard of it. That was a game that fooled me when I was little. Still a very good game though. Very nice scheme there. Jimmy Johnson, before he was the GOAT in the Alltel 92 car. This is a very good looking scheme as well. But really only known for going into the foam head first at Watkins Glen in turn 1. My favorite driver, Buckshot Jones. Oh, I was a big Buckshot fan back in the day. Him and Jerry Nadeau, man, it was a tough go of it for little Dylan. I was also a Jeff Gordon fan, so it was fine. Being a Buckshot Jones and Jerry Nadeau fan in 2001 was rough. Jason Keller in the 57 Excedrin. I think of this car with Jimmy Johnson, obviously, but I'm pretty sure he drove the 92, so either like they stole the sponsorship in the scheme or the team rebranded. I doubt that, but like I said, I don't know much about the old Busch series here, aside from Buckshot. Andy Kirby, the 39 Williams car. Is this like the team that Jamie McMurray drove for in the 27, or did they just take the sponsor? I don't know. It's kind of weird with the green. I don't know if I much like it, but it's not terrible. Randy LaJoy and the Bob Evans #1. They don't have any Chevy branding on here. They must. Is this a? Maybe this is a. Why can't I think of the name? Why can't I think of the name? James Finch car. I bet it is. I bet it's a James Finch car. Now, don't hold me to that, but James Finch never ran any branding on his car ever because he never got paid. I like Bob Evans. Good place to eat. Justin Labonte in the 44. It's so weird how he just won that one Busch Series race in Chicago, and then I never thought of him again. It's like he was just gone after that. Anthony Lazzaro. Oh, this is such a great paint scheme. I know that it's basically Andy Houston's car, but oh, I love this scheme. Jason Leffler in the 18 MBNA America car. I really think of like, what is it, Coy Gibbs or Mike McLaughlin in this. Speaking of Mike McLaughlin in the 48 Golds Pump car, I think of Kenny Wallace in this one. Good scheme. Hank Parker Jr. in the Marines Racing car with some weird flames on the side. That's kind of odd. Not a good looking paint scheme. Once again, I don't think of Phil Parsons in this car. I think of Stacy Compton. Or Jason Keller? Did he drive this? I think so. It's a great paint scheme. Fantastic. All tail on the side. Was this a Jimmy Johnson teammate? I don't know. Adam Petty's in the game. I saw some people commenting that they were upset Adam Petty wasn't in the game. Well, he is in the Busch Series. Even though I guess it says Winston Cup on the side, but still, it's in the Busch Series cars. Jeff Purvis in the 4. This is such an odd-looking car with this number font and on a Pontiac. Not a bad scheme, though. Tony Raines in the Alka-Seltzer Bayer car. Good scheme. A little basic, but I like it. Not too bad. Michael Rich, that's a name I've never heard of. Never. And he's sponsored by the Florida Gators. Yeah, this is an odd one. Tony Roper, another driver we lost too soon. He was actually from like the town over from where I was from. So I'm not gonna say that my community mourned his loss because I was too little to know that. But good looking scheme, Dr. Pepper. I miss the old Dr. Pepper cards. I miss the old Dr. Pepper logo, but it looks good. Big fan. Hermes Sadler in the Little Trees car. There are so many good-looking paint schemes back here. Man, it just makes me sad about how many bad paint schemes there are today. Anthony Santerre, I hope I pronounced that correctly, in the Lance Snacks car. The number is so small, and there's no Chevy logo, but it's a good paint scheme. Jay Sauter in the 43. Quality Farm and Country. Not a bad scheme either. Looks good. I don't know if I like the green numbers. I don't know what I would use there, but green's kind of a choice. Elton Sawyer. The Lysol 98. That's another paint scheme I remember from watching a couple Busch races on YouTube back in the day. Jason Schuler? I just think of Matt Kenseth in this car, obviously. Is this, who is this crew chief? Is it Robbie Reiser? Was this his team? I don't know. It doesn't tell me. Jack Sprague in the 15 Albertsons car. I don't remember this car whatsoever. I think I remember the car, but I don't remember Jack Sprague being the driver. And last but not least, we have the GOAT, Dick Trickle. I don't know. I never knew of him driving this car, but I love Dick Trickle. And that's it. That's the Busch Series. And also Sledge Mods. Oh, hold on. There we go. He's in here somewhere. Anyway. Let's go ahead and do a race. Why don't we just pick Adam Petty, because why not? And, oh, I need to turn the difficulty up. Let me do that first. And put that up to veteran. And where should we race? Oh, I forgot to pick Adam Petty. So, do a race at Tiburon. Why not? So Tiburon, if you don't know, is their custom track where it's backwards. You're doing right turns only, and it's a giant track, so it's like Talladega on steroids with no restrictor plates, I think. But we'll take a try here. Let me turn the volume up. All right, here we go.
Welcome to the unique
Tiburon Super Speedway. You see the banking here is ridiculous. But here we go. We're going to start right in the middle of the pack. I don't know if you can run with just the Busch Series drivers. Sledge, if you know, send me a message or comment down below. That would be nice if you could figure out a way to race with just the Busch Series, but regardless, I'm glad they're here, as the banking here is unbelievably crazy. I'll keep it like this, I guess. Even the banking on the backstretch is crazy. We're going 225 miles an hour. And we're not really losing. We're gaining speed in the corner because of how banked it is. That's nuts. Not really doing much right now. I'm not really in the draft. I mean, it feels like you could just flip over so easy with how banked this is. We're making the top work. Imagine if this track had, or if this game had blowovers, how easy it would be to do. We're pushing our way through the middle here. I feel like I need to be doing this. We'll do this just so you could have a little bit better view. Looks like Rusty Wallace is leading right now. We're going to try to work the outside. This is so weird. The amount of banking is just nuts. Gonna try to get to his outside. All right, we'll work our way back to the bottom. Oh, big checkup. I should have went to the inside earlier. I don't know if we're going to win this one. I got to go. I'm going to try to start getting aggressive here. Oh! Oops. All right, well, we're racing back to the yellow. I got to go and get as many spots as I can here. Oh, we had someone on the bottom blew up. Work my way through the middle here. Here we come. Let's get a few more spots. Oh, God. Okay, we got up to third, maybe? Oh, it was Jerry. Jerry. Oh, man. Jerry just lost it. All right, we're going to get one lap here. Oh, we're fourth. All right, one lap shootout. We're going to do our best here. We didn't get a good jump off the line, which I think spells disaster for our chances, but we're going to try to stay in the draft as much as we can. I'm going to put it on the hood view just for right now. Come on. Yeah, it took us a lap or two to get up to speed comparatively. Well, it looks like we're going to go for fourth here, as Chad Little is going to try to take home the win here. All right, P4 it is. Not a bad showing. Not a bad showing. So that'll be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, check the description down below for the link to the mod. Thank you for everybody for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you on the next video.